My PC.
Hey, peace and blessings, everybody. It's your girl, Wendy Zizzo, here with Kirk the Jerk. Shout out to Nappy Red. He will be back with us next week. But let's start off as we should with the sound off. But before we get there, let me just give you a few things. First, everything we talk about is for educational purposes only. If it doesn't apply to you, then let it fly. If not, then, take what you want and whatever you do is on you. Don't blame us. It's not us. Just blame the information that we come across. What up, Kurt?
What's going on? And just remember, this is all for education purpose, like she said. So don't take everything we say and run with it. We are not professionals in every aspect of everything we talk about. We're just having conversation with you guys.
Yeah, and we don't
So
want y'all to put on your running shoes and act like you in the Olympics, okay? Chill.
now
Just
the
chill.
next
But
step.
let's go with the sound off. Shout out to Red again. Love you, man. We still sounding off with you, though. Let's roll.
Yes, sir.
Fentanyl in a lot of drugs,
Oh,
marijuana,
I'm gonna put it
cocaine,
from the back. Let's
definitely
see.
heroin. So, what's your thoughts and comments
Oh
on
shit.
this? Sound off on it.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties there. Okay.
Peace and blessings. Today's topic on Sound Off on C. June Production. Want to talk about fentanyl. A lot of people don't understand they putting fentanyl in a lot of drugs, marijuana, cocaine, definitely heroin. So, what's your thoughts and comments on this? Sound off on it.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's an interesting topic because fentanyl is so scary because it literally
yeah.
takes like a less than a pea size of it
Hmm.
to kill a human being. Like fentanyl is so potent. Like
Hmm.
there's not even much that you need. It's like I don't even know the measurement, but I just see when I've seen it, like the amount that it
Hmm.
takes, it's not even the size of a pea, smaller than a pea. Not like
Yeah.
pea like liquid. I mean pea like the vegetable. Uh
And it's unfortunate because the unfortunate part is that fentanyl is used into prescription drugs as well, like powerful aesthetics drugs. They use fentanyl too, but they have it in so much of a microdose that it doesn't kill you, but it's very potent and strong to do whatever job is
yeah.
expected to do. So the problem is you got these street pharmacists playing playing chemistry, and they don't have no type of education background to be able to use that type of fentanyl and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
that
the reason
that
why they
part.
putting fentanyl in a lot of drugs because the drugs we're getting nowadays is weak as hell anyway. So they try to spice it up, but they end up putting in too much, and then people getting killed. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of drug dealers want to make money. They're not interested in murdering the people they're selling to. They're trying to get bread. But like I said, they're not pharmacists. They're not scientists. So they're out here experimenting and then getting people killed. So when that happens, they need to go to jail because they know at this point everybody know how bad fentanyl is. So if you're still
Yeah,
using it in your drugs, you need to go to jail for it.
that part. But I was only smiling when you said it because it made me think of the Charlie Sheen documentary that he was uh the story goes is that his friends, were his dealers. Well, his dealers
Mhm.
winded up becoming his friends, and they wanted to get him to stop because he was spending like 20 bands every week on stuff, on the stuff that he was taking. So what they did was is that they made it more weaker so that he could feel like he's broken, like he can't get high no more, like no matter how much he does. So that's what eventually got him to stop, and he's been clean I think like 8 years or something like that now. But
Wow.
his they didn't tell him that that was what they did to his drugs in order to get him to stop. So when you said that drugs are stronger now because people ain't getting the same effect anymore, you just made me think of that story. So that was interesting. But no, I mean, it's just scary, period. Because who's to say that they'll stop at drugs? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
who's to say that they'll stop at doing things where it's just in those type of things? What if it gets into other things? You know, I
Yeah,
heard them talking about putting vaccines in food. You know, like you go to
yeah.
buy a head of lettuce and you getting a whole vaccine. You know, it's like when does it stop? You know, that this stuff, like, somehow, some way that this stuff is getting out. I don't think just any regular person could get their hands on it, but I think it's coming from somewhere. But who knows? I don't
It,
know. That,
I think it's just random people out there doing the worst. You know, it's random people out there doing all this, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people's getting affected by all these dummies.
yeah.
And I think the only way it's gonna get better is they got to do more cracking down on this whole fentanyl mess and stuff like
I
that.
mean,
And these
that I 100% agree with. And I would go even as far as talking about the source, which is tackling people's addictions and why do people even need to take these type of drugs and such to cope with life. What's up, Red? What it do, man?
hey brother,
Salute. You know, absolutely. But no, like, the real problem is the mental health crisis that we're in. And it's interesting, you know, people like boomers or even Generation X, they'll complain and say, "Oh, nowadays people are too soft. They just care about mental
hmm
health." No, there's always been a problem. It's just now being, addressed. And now it's making, oh, they're
yeah,
soft. They're people are too sensitive.
hmm
I'm not going to say people are too sensitive. What I will say is that
hmm
our society has never been formulated to care about people in
that's
any
true.
capacity. So, back when there was less regulations and less laws and less awareness about mental health and the effects that these things have on us, people just did what the hell they wanted to do. Like,
That's true.
we
Yeah.
wouldn't have half the movies we have about craziness, like American Gangster, or the cowboy movies or anything that's showing the way it was crazy in these times, if people didn't have the ability to do whatever the hell they wanted to do, and they did it because no one had regard from themselves or anyone else, you know. And it circles back around to now in terms of, this mental health crisis. There's so many people out here that are underdeveloped emotionally, that are malnourished emotionally,
hmm
mentally. There's a lot of people that don't have the information they need. You got a lot of people that are uneducated, even in just who and what they are. Or like, I remember even me and you were talking about the difference, with environment. And I was saying that the environment has an effect on you, but it's the people in the environment that create the environment for what it is. So you can have, the example was, you have a whole bunch of people that live in a nice suburban area. They all educated. Everybody's rich, and not necessarily rich, but it could be middle class. People just
hmm
educated, and more than likely their kids are going to grow up to be similar. And at the same time, their kids will also go into school with kids like theirs, and they're, not to say they didn't have the negative cliques, the ones cutting school and being bad and, going against the grain. Like, of course you have those, but it's going to be more prominent in areas where there's less education, where there's less funding, where there's more of a temptation to do things that, would be more malicious. So I would
hmm
say that mindset is the biggest thing, just in general. I would say that mindset goes for everything. Mindset goes
Yeah.
for how you deal with your environment. It goes for
hmm
how you are successful or not in your life, how you treat people, how you see people. It's an interesting thing to watch, seeing just like the videos of the ICE agents and the stuff that they're doing. And I'm just saying to myself, you have to be some type of broken mentally and emotionally to
hmm
be able to inflict the pain and the violence upon people to the capacity that they're doing. It's like these people are a few cans short of a six pack. to be able to put that uniform on every day and go out there feeling like you doing the right thing, and you literally hurting people, killing people, you know, like it's but that's, like I said, society has not been built or designed for us to care about each other. That's not what this society, this is a capitalistic dog eat dog society. And you know, and you have
I call it American culture because other countries are not as bad as us. We call our other
no,
countries
there's a lot of countries that's as bad as us. Oh,
yeah,
you just
take this
lost
off. Yeah. No, I took it off because I don't need that green screen right now.
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, this look better. It's just a nice and black polka dot looking thing. I
No,
deal
it's
with that.
nice. I still like it. But no, like there's just, that's just the culture of
Mm-hmm.
what this country has been woven. I mean, there's not one strand of material that is woven this country together that doesn't have blood in it. So,
Yeah.
you
But
know, and
it's mainly, I won't say mainly America because other places is ruthless too.
of course.
But they're more ruthless for other reasons. Like you got people ruthless for survival. America is ruthless for sport and
No,
robbery.
it's a little bit of both.
Nah,
It's a
think
little bit of
about it.
both.
Here, think about it here. People like you see other countries and you see people wild and they're doing crazy shit, right?
Mhm.
They really trying to
They're
eat
impoverished
because at
though.
the end of the day, if they don't rob you, they might not eat. They might starve to death.
Well,
It's a
it's a
big difference why
similar,
they do robberies out there.
no, it's similar
Here,
to
if I don't,
here.
I'm not gonna starve to death here because there's a soup kitchen somewhere. There's a restaurant I
I
can get some
mean,
scraps from. Or I
overall in
can eat
these
out the
other
garbage
countries,
can, garbage or whatever.
it's the governments that are doing very similar to what they do out here, is where they don't
Oh
care
yeah, the
about their
government.
people.
I'm talking about the people. Yeah, the government is horrible everywhere you go. That's
Yeah, because everybody,
but
well, not everybody, but most of them are very selfish and self-centered, and they only care about
yeah.
themselves and their own. You know, they don't care about, they don't they don't invest into their people, into the society. Like I was watching something where they were saying how in China they have these immaculate places, from hotels to homes to their airports to the technology that they have. And why is because they've been investing a large amount of their money into their infrastructure and into their people. And America is almost going broke over the amount of money that has been invested into just our military alone. And they over here trying to increase their budget. You know what I mean? So if we're putting, not where like me and you, because I ain't doing that shit. You know, if these people are over here putting the largest amounts of our money that could actually help society, help people into defense, then that just says everything right there. What their actual priorities are. You know, people are just expendable in their eyes.
Yeah.
You know, so it's unfortunate. It is what it is. I can't do nothing about it, but the only thing I can do about it is change the way I feel about it and the way I see it. And
That's true.
the one thing that centers me in all of it, I just remind myself, God is good. And God is good when? All the time. And if God is good all the time and all the time God is good, then that means some way, shape, or form, whatever's going on is there has to be something good about it, or else it wouldn't be going on. You know, so that's how I recenter myself and all this. Like, this is just all part of this reality and how it operates, and there's something good that's gonna come of it. I'm just waiting for the aliens, you know. Like
What's the comment? She left the Farrah left the
she said,
comment.
mental health is a moneymaker. It's all about what they can charge insurance companies and receive in grants. If you're not addressing capitalism and extreme poverty, how can you say you care about our mental health? Who can feel good when they work full time and still can't afford a home, utilities, and food? Absolutely. Totally agree
Damn,
with
that's a good
that. Thank
one.
you for
That's
that comment.
right
No, but
there.
she's
Yeah.
absolutely right. I mean, it's not even
Fuck
just
the
mental
mental health
health.
if I don't got
It's
no goddamn
health,
bread.
period.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, like I said, if they're looking at people as commodities and that they're expendable, then why would you invest into them? You know what I mean? Like
we
you're
need
not
to have
looking at, you feel like, oh, we could just keep having more. So now let's
we need
put
to have a you we need to have a you. That's why That's why when people think of universal health care, they don't think of in depth on how the government will make sure that you good and we have universal health care because the government like UK and any other countries like Norway,
It would
Canada,
cost them more money.
They're very cheap in the sense that they do not want to spend money on you, especially if it's free coverage. So they're going to make sure that you get the right treatment the first time. They're
Yeah,
not going to
well,
have
they're
you.
gonna address
They're
the
not.
root.
That's why
Yeah.
they're creating all the innovative technology to like cure cancer, cure this, fix that. Because the healthier you are, the less money the government spends. The sicker you are, the more money the government spends. That's the reason why government don't allow all these red and blue molecules and all that shit that's in our food and high fructose corn syrup and all that shit to be allowed in their food over there because they know that's damning to the body.
But you know what's
so they're not
interesting
playing that
though?
shit.
What's interesting is that it shows in these other countries that do that it actually works to keep people healthy, and there's still money. Like
Yeah.
So ultimately it's really just people running off of these old programs of just being cruel and no compassion or no care for humanity. Like these are just old ideologies that stem from colonialism. You know what I mean? Like these people had to have a certain mindset to be able to go from country to country, terrorize people, kill them, take their land, do everything that they do, and here we are. You know what I mean? Like that was a certain mental illness that was happening, and that's still prevalent in today's society. You know, if you could honestly look at somebody else being hurt physically and it doesn't bother you, you should go seek therapy. And I'm not saying
that's not normal.
I'm dead serious. Like if you can look at other people and watch them be in pain and that entertains you, that means there's a part of you that is in so much pain because you feel like nobody cared about you. So why should you care about other people? And the fact of the matter is that the people that what you were around maybe didn't care about you, but that doesn't mean that people don't care about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people work from those experiences. Like they stay right there. Like, oh, well, when I was young, I was abused and people hurt me and nobody cared about me. So why should I now care about people? First of all, that happened when you was a child. That's one. Two, what does the people now have anything to do with what happened to you? But this is just, like I said, it's just a skewed mental illness that people are carrying. It's a toxicity, to sum it all up, but there's so much of that it's almost normal in today's society.
It is, yes. It's definitely
like I'm looked at as probably a square because I care.
If you care, if they say you care, that means you're a liberal.
That's another thing. Like I'm not taking on any of these labels. I'm not. I feel like I'm a human being just like everybody else, and I care about the way I feel, and because I care about the way I feel, it also drives me to care about the way other people feel.
Then that means you're on the left because they be like, how dare you care about people?
Dare you? Now you're right. I remember once I was talking to my uncle on the Zizzo side, and some of the stuff I was saying to him, he's like, oh, you sound like a liberal.
Hey, all right, brother Montesino, how you doing, man? Yeah, answer
the question. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
But it's just interesting, and I say interesting to probably the most detrimental things. And why I say it's interesting is because it's just something to look at. It's just something to observe. It's just something to critically think about and now figure out what to do to navigate through it. That's basically why I would say something is interesting. It's neither good or bad. It just is. It's just interesting. Okay, now what?
Yeah, that's true. That's crazy, man.
But moving along, in other news, one of the other things that's happened is that TikTok is now owned by the United States.
The United States officially owns TikTok.
I'm not going to say the other country that really runs the United States.
No, we ain't going to do that.
But yeah, they own it now. Yeah. So one of the things that's in their new regulations is they can use your content for whatever they want to use it for, whenever they want to use it, and make money from it. You could still use it too, but they don't got to pay you for it.
That's true.
So yeah, this is going to be interesting.
And they're also going to use your content and create a profile of you to market to you products and services that you that they might think that you're interested
Yeah,
in.
you can opt out of that though. It's ad driven traffic based off of your content that they're going to send you stuff, but you can actually opt out of that. That you can opt out of, but you can't opt out of them taking your videos and doing whatever they want to do with your videos. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like somebody else is going to come up with something else that's just going to be just as explosive as TikTok. So, let's see what his question is. He said
Patiently
USA
waiting.
is not perfect as a country, but tell me a better country for what is a better country for Latino and blacks?
Yeah, that's a good question.
There's many countries in Africa that's better for Latino and blacks.
Yeah.
For
us, yeah, honestly,
there's plenty of
if we
countries in
didn't,
Africa that you can go and live in and it'd be fine.
if we wasn't born here, because like if you're born here or if you've been here forever, you set your whole base, your whole life here. So it's kind of like hard for you to just transition and leave when you got your family here, or you have your finances here. But in reality, that's why when people retire, they leave. They go to another country. They stay there. Like when I leave, I'm staying in the Bahamas. I'm about to buy a house in the Bahamas. I'm gonna be living in Bahamas.
There's plenty of places that black and brown people can go and live fine. The problem is that there's a certain type of culture that we're used to out here. You know what I mean?
Good question.
If you're outside of that normality, now you feel like you can't survive, but you can. You don't need McNasty to survive. You know what I mean? You don't need a corner bodega to survive. There's other ways.
You need a corner bodega because
I do want some, beef, bacon, egg, and cheese. Absolutely.
No, but not for that. They still remember the bodegas still be having basic essentials you need for household goods.
Well, they have their versions of bodegas in other countries. You go to their stores, they got the necessities.
They got the village. Stores. They got the village where everything is on a corner. And
they have the market.
I ain't gonna lie,
the
way they portray India is messed up. The way they make India look so messed up. Because India is not that bad the way they make it look, where they show the village people and they just putting their foot in food. And I ain't gonna lie, the shit is hilarious, but it's not how it is really. Which country
is better? Name one. Ethiopia.
Oh no, I'm talking about better than here. As far as that I've been to, that I can honestly say if I had the finances and I had my if I had my family there, I would move
even
there.
South Africa.
I'll move to England. I would even move to Canada, but my family's here.
Canada.
I would move to England, Canada. Because they have universal health care. Norway is good. Even if you're black, because Norway is predominantly white, but they treat black people over there good in Norway. Norway is another place I will go to.
Netherlands.
Australia is I'm not messing with Australia on because they pretty much racist against
Germany.
So they might have mistaken me for them.
No,
Germany is actually good too.
Like,
that's a good country too. Germany is good too. It's really nice in Germany. You gotta if you travel to these countries to see how it is and then ask the locals will tell you, man. Some of these places is good. You can live great.
Scotland is not racist. Scotland.
It's not as racist as what people think. Put it like this. The most racist place I've ever been in my life is right here in the United States.
Absolutely.
I've been to other countries, even France. And France got a nigger day or a black day where China, they wear blackface and they run the streets. That's still less racist than
here. What other countries? Liberia. I'm pretty sure if Kino Faso, once they get their stuff together, they wouldn't have a problem with Black Americans and Latinos being there.
Now he's saying no niggas is coming over there.
Yeah, they shut it down right now. That's why I said when they finish getting their stuff together. I mean, even in the Philippines, like there's people in the Philippines, like Mexico. You know what I mean? Like there's so many.
I don't know about Mexico.
Now there's parts of Mexico.
I mean, as far as to live, if you got money, put it like this. Brother Montesino, just think about anywhere you live at and you have money, it's always going to be better than America. You get more bang for your buck. Here in the States, you don't get enough, babe. Yeah, Barbados is beautiful. Barbados is pretty much equal to here as far as the dollars.
Costa Rica.
But you can still get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, like
and Bahamas, and like perfect example, the reason why I'm moving to Bahamas, Bahamas have way less crime than here, and the average person makes way more than minimum wage. So the average person makes a lot of money. They make 50,000 over there is just normal money for the people over there in Bahamas.
I would tell
So since it's
anybody,
cheap, since it's good like that, the crime is
listen,
less.
there's way too much social media and YouTube videos to even have any more of these questions, because you could really just go look it up yourself. You can go Google it right now. What are the best countries in the world for Black people to be in? So why everybody wants to come here, then my family came with nothing. That's exactly why they want to come here. We worked hard and we are good now. USA is a great country. It's not perfect, but can you really success here if you work hard? Okay, that's a three-part statement, right? First thing is, why come here? Because this is a capitalistic society and you can make money the fastest here. That's one. Two, your family came here, they worked hard and they good. So you came from the outside with a different mindset coming in versus being born here and put through whatever the consensus of the way that society runs here. Like if you wasn't born here, you're not going to have the same perspective as somebody that was not born here. That's one. Like, well, that's two. And as for you're saying that it's a great country, but it's not perfect. Bringing attention to the dysfunction does not discount the good parts. But the thing is that the reason why America is even in the space that it's in is because it keeps trying to highlight all of the great parts of it, but it wants to keep all of the terrible and horrible parts in the shadows. And then if anytime somebody brings that type of stuff to light, then it's like, oh, well, if you don't like it, then get out of here. Shut up. Because at the end of the day, there's plenty of darkness going on here. And if someone like me or anyone else wants to bring that to light, we have a right to do that, because these are the problems that need to be solved to make the country better. I'm not saying this is not a good country. I'm not saying that it doesn't have its great points, but it also has very horrible things that happen, and there's still horrible things that happen. So for people to feel like, oh, well, if you're talking about all the negative stuff, then you should leave the country. How about you just close your ears and don't listen then? How about you just keep paying attention to all the good stuff and you keep ignoring all the bad stuff? You know
what did I miss?
He said, well, he was saying why everybody wants to come here. And, you know, my family came with nothing. We work hard to get it now. America's a great country and it's not perfect. But we
as native. Yeah, but people
the thing I said when you jumped off real quick was that just because the country has its great points doesn't mean that people can't bring to light the bad points and the things that do need to be fixed and the things that do need to be addressed. And just because people are bringing light to that doesn't take away from the good parts of the country. But if you're going to keep trying to gloss over and push that bad stuff to the side just so you could say, oh, it's still a great country, then you're no different than the problem that we already have.
That's true.
Like you're adding to the problem.
It's the problem. The problem with the situation is that you're supposed to criticize the country. Any country that's not doing what they're supposed to do. In the history, like a lot of foreigners don't understand the history that Black people have been through. And I'm not talking about slavery.
Well, that's another thing I said to him.
No, hold on. Let me
finish. It's a different perspective when you're born here versus not. That's what I was saying. But
that's most immigrants have a misunderstanding of how Black people in general are treated in this country and don't understand all the history and dynamics. And I'm not talking about slavery. Everybody always talk about slavery, this, slavery, that. No, I'm talking about after slavery, how horrible it got after slavery with the Jim Crow laws and the land that we own. Some of the land that was given to us, some land that we actually bought, and it was taken from us over and over again. A white man decided he wanted the land. Let me take this land right here. And you know what he does, right? You know how he take the land? He'll come here with a few guys that come with some guns and say, listen, you better get up this land or we're gonna kill everybody. And guess what? We leave. And then you got prominent cities that made a lot of money here in the States, where they made so much money and they did so good that they turned a whole land into a whole island. I mean, a whole a lake. There's a lot of cities all over America.
There's a lot of cities that's underwater.
They turn into lakes, literally.
And this is an
black cities.
This is an interesting thing here. People like him do not want to hear about that stuff.
No, it's not they want to hear. Now, I know a person that's my boy.
When I say
it's just he
people
don't
like
understand.
him, I mean people that want to argue with you when you're bringing up these negative points about the country, because now they want to defend the country. But you have to, you really trying to gloss over.
You got to have history here to really understand how this country
like
really is. And a lot of Spanish people are learning now. They're learning the hard way with the deportation. They're learning how much this country don't like them. Like a lot of them try to come here and assimilate. And I understand black people is not the winning group. So even a lot of Dominicans that look like me don't want to be black because they know how bad black people are treated. I mean, if I could come in this country and try to be somebody different, I would be too. I understand. But here's the thing. When you act like you better, or when you act like, oh, y'all beneath me, guess what? Now they treating you like niggas. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all getting the same treatment. And we sit back and we know how this government is have a history of treating people in general. So we sit back and like, okay, you want to vote for this guy? All right. Now I see people crying all over the place. And it's not just affecting Spanish people, it's affecting white people too. Black people, we always get affected no matter who's in the government. That's just been known. To me, that's just Tuesday. That's normal business for us. We used to that shit. We used to getting fucked with. But now it affects everybody. This man across the board is worried about rich people. What he wants to do is have working class people of all different ethnic groups fight each other. That's what we do. We fight each other, talking about, oh, I'm better than you, or you better than me. But at the end of the day, they sticking all of us with a knife in our back. Why they sit there and rob all our resources? Our U.S. government.
I mean, aside from that part, bringing attention to the mental illness that runs rampant through the world and in this country as well does not mean that, I don't appreciate my country. Like that's just saying, like you know, you could say that you love your parents, but your parents probably did some ish to you. You know what I mean? Like so now because you telling the truth about the treatment that your parents put you through, now they're not your parents no more. Now you need to leave and find a new family. No, it don't like. This stuff goes hand in hand. Everybody, you can't have dark and you can't speak about the light without bringing.
And I think another misunderstanding that a lot of people have that's foreign that come here is saying, oh, once you go to Africa, go somewhere else. We have more rights to this country than the white man. A lot of us been here before the quote unquote Europeans been here. So we have more stake to this land.
We were reclassified we're not gonna go too deep. 5 times.
No, but the craziest thing is that we've been here before them. All of us that come over the slave ship, 200,000 of us. It was millions of us already here. So if you do the math, maybe 10% of us came over here on a ship. So a lot of us was already explorers. If you look at Africa, you'll see that if you go to Egypt and you go to those places, you'll see all the pictures, portraits that's drawn out, showing that we were sailors and we drove all over the place. We went all over the place. Even you got Moors. Moors been all over the place. Guess what Moors come from? They come from Africa.
For that one.
The Moors come from Africa, people. Do people even understand the word Moor means? The whole idea, it came from over there, and they travel all over. Well, now, when you look at people that look like me, we settle every land, everywhere, and in every continent. There's people that look like me there somewhere, shape, or form. Why? It's because we're the original people, no matter where we go. So when we talk about we need to go back to Africa, we need to go back to America, we need to go back to England. We was everywhere first. We are the original people. That's the reason why our DNA is more dominant than everybody else. That's why the history of slavery shows that black men was being mutilated. You know why they mutilate black men and they didn't do it to other races? They did it to us because they feel like our sausage had the weapon of massive destruction, meaning that we could change whole people genome strategy, change whole people genome just by having sex with us. We could knock, put it like this. If you take a black woman and a white man, and you mix them together, all right, that kid gonna be yellow. Now you get another white person mixed with them, it might be a little lighter. Now you get a black person mix them, now they be a whole black. We keep them mixing together, it's gonna end up it's gonna get dark, it's gonna get back dark.
If I go in on this subject, I might get in trouble. But I will just say this that the indigenous, now you was going off on them. But the indigenous people of America.
That's my boy. He's a string. He pull my strings all the time. I love him to death, and he doesn't mean no harm in what he says. He just have a different view
Nah,
because
listen.
some people do when they first come to this
I
country,
want to
and
say,
if
I
they've
want to
been getting all the
say,
decent treatment and
a
they've been
large
treated good.
majority of people that were
Yeah.
not born here, that
Yeah.
came here to live and survive, and then they became successful. They all have
Yeah.
that same mindset about
Nigerians
people
too.
here.
You got Africans here that does the same
100%.
thing.
Yeah, 100%. I've
Everything
had
is
plenty
good
of
for me. Everything is
conversations
great.
to help deconstruct their mindset about that. Like one of the first questions I asked a Nigerian guy, that was saying, "Oh, why Americans is lazy? The Black Americans, they did it." I'm like, I asked the first question I asked him, "What color were your teachers when you were going to school growing up?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Did they look like you, or did they look like somebody else? Were they the same color as you, or was they somebody else?" He was like, "No, they all look like me." I said, "That's number one. You don't understand what that does to the psyche on another level, to have from a very young child that your superior looks different than you. And then the things that they're teaching you to worship also don't look like you.
Your deity looks like a
Then the
buttermilk
people
skin
that are
complexion
are
Caucasian
put
male.
as and then the people that are put as the founders and the saviors of this country also don't look like you. And then when they do teach about what you look like, it was always you were in change and you were a slave, not enslaved.
That's the only history that you got out there.
You wasn't an enslaved person, because that's what we truly were. We're enslaved people, but they say you were a slave. And just the subconscious idea of a slave is someone that's inferior, that is less than, that is dirty, that is all whatever negative things that come with the word slave. But if you change the terminology and say it for what it actually was, which is enslaved, people that were once free, that were captured and put into slavery, they were enslaved people, they were prisoners of war, then that's a whole nother conversation in a different perspective. But you have to be willing to take on that perspective and have that much compassion. But like I said, mental illness is real. And as long as it's not happening to you, you don't care.
Nothing, and what makes it worse is that everybody, when they think of slavery, they think, oh, a few black people own some slaves. So since a few black people own the slaves, that negates the transatlantic slavery system, where it was designed by European white men that created that system. Spaniards and everybody created that system, that slavery system. So a few black groups participate. That takes away the white people's responsibilities? Hell no. They still responsible because it was their system that they created, even though that is learned behavior from the Arabs. The Arabs are first to do the slavery, but the difference is with the Arabs, you could buy your freedom.
You could actually
and you was a digital servant.
Freedom. You can work off.
You could buy your freedom. You could. Here in America, what happened is
cattle slavery was horrible.
It was supposed to be you were a slave for 7 years here in America, and what happened is one slave owner went to the courts and yelled and argued that he have his slave for life. So when he did that and won his case in court, guess what? They all ran in and said, "Oh, we keeping ours. So no more 7 years," because it was supposed to be 7 years.
Well, the 7 years was making people indentured servants. That was a difference, and that was the Irish.
The first to do it.
The Irish came first. They were the first indentured slaves on American soil, right? And then the Native Americans that migrated here from Asia were not the only people here first. There were like people, the copper-colored people, us. My grandmother was Cherokee, so I know I'm part Cherokee. It's interesting. Years ago, I used to work at this job, and these Native American gentlemen came down from Canada to work out here. It was on construction sites, and one of them looks at me. He goes, "You Cherokee?" I look at him, "How the hell did you know?" He said, "Oh, I could tell by your facial features." And that blew my mind.
That's true.
Because nobody's ever said that to me. And then when I, of course, I thought about with my grandmother and stuff, like, yeah, I'm also largely indigenous to this land. My lineage is indigenous to this land, and my lineage is also indigenous to Ethiopia as well. But that's just because I'm all mixed up and stuff. But the more seasoning you put into the pot,
not mixed? And that's a misconception about African Americans. To me, I think African Americans are the most mixed people in this world.
Absolutely.
As far as groups, because at the end of the day, Anytime you see an African American do an accessory, that nigga mixed with damn near every part of the world. It's a piece over here, a piece over there. And the reason is because of slavery. Slavery is one big role in it where, you know, they kind of fucked us up. You know, our slave master was our daddy. All types of circumstances that happened during back then.
Like I said, that and the mental illness that was existing for 400 years. That's 4 great grandmothers, bro. Like that's great grandmother. Like 400 years is time. Like that's a lot of time for this mental illness to be running rampant, and we're still seeing remnants of it still existing now. You know, so I mean, it's not going to last because eventually, you know, just through natural selection, you know, when something's not working, you know, when something is not working, nature has a way of eliminating it. So
that's true.
it will eventually phase itself out. Plus, on top of the fact that we are in the age of Aquarius, you know, people don't understand. Or some people try to go against astrology. But it's a real thing. It's actually scientific. There's a scientific proof that astrology has some significance to our personalities and the way that we've developed mentally and even our brains, just because of the electromagnetic waves that are around the planet itself.
Oh shit! This nigga, like, what up, Andre?
Go in on all that.
It was good, bro. Fuck your man Trump, nigga.
But no, but moving along onto different one. I'm not even gonna go there with him because he loves coming on here with his shenanigans, bro.
Oh shit! He said Donald Trump is the greatest.
Yes, he is. You're absolutely right. He is the greatest.
Well, you see what he said about me. If you look at my Facebook post, Donald Trump said a lot of good stuff about me, so I'm not gonna complain.
Oh yeah, your post. Yeah, Trump was giving y'all the thing. He said, "What do y'all think that Corey?" I don't know anything about that.
I think Corey would have got his ass whooped by that dude, yo, because word on the street is that dude is a fighter. Like he's an OG, and he might be little, but he got the hands. And I think Corey didn't want those hands because he told Corey, step outside on some man shit. Like, and Corey blew the shit up and he didn't want to step out because at the end of the day, if somebody called me out and I'm talking tough with another, think about it. If I'm talking tough with another nigga, you call me out, I'm gonna get it popping with you because you called me out, so I gotta get it popping. Unless I'm not gonna stay at the show and continue talking shit. Nah, we're gonna get it popping and come back. I'm a respectful dude. I'll beat your ass, pick you up the ground, and we get back on set. We gonna continue talking some man shit. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
I'm so in the dark about this because I have no idea what this story is about. But I'm gonna let y'all live on that. You know, I'm gonna let y'all live on that.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. The shit that he be talking about women. The way he be disrespecting women in general, I wanted to see him get beat up one time. It would have been nice to see him get beat up on set. You know what I mean?
Oh, speaking of something in that realm, you just reminded me. Did you see the Dave Chappelle, his last stand-up?
Nah, I didn't see it. They said it was controversial. I gotta look at it.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it. We're gonna save that for another episode because you have to watch that so that we can talk about it. Because
that's one dude that can't get canceled.
He said, "What you seen what Corey said about dude's daughter?" I can't even speak on this because I don't know anything about it. So no,
basically, he was disrespecting his daughter. Like he was saying, "Yo, somebody find me his daughter, or whatever." He doing the same thing that Star did on Hot 97 when Star was calling out brother DJ Envy's daughter, which was stupid. You never should supposed to do anything like that. I think that was just disrespectful. You never call out nobody's daughter or nothing like that. And he called out daughter like, yeah, she's gonna be a hoe and all that stuff. He said all kinds of shit. He disrespected his wife. You don't do all that. You keep the family out of it. If you got a problem with me, you have a problem with me because this is social media. You don't disrespect people's family. I think that's where they went. You know, Corey. I draw the line with that shit.
So real quick, the other guy says, "Hey, I put it up there. I'm good. Let's see. What can a white person do that a black or Latino person can't?"
Oh, not get assaulted by police and go any place and
walk down the street without being harassed.
Yes.
As a Latino person that came to this country when I was 12, I felt that I was given a very fair chance. Well, he probably meant chance to succeed.
Yeah.
I just think that we should not play victim and move forward. Peace, respect, and love to you guys.
No.
We can agree to disagree.
No. Here's the thing, Montesino. Here's the thing, brother. Yes, you're not supposed to play victim, but you could chew gum and walk at the same time, meaning that unlike you, the government owes my people a lot of shit, right? Not saying that we're supposed to sit there and wait for it. Yes, we're supposed to not play victim and do what we got to do. And we can't expect no outside race to do we need what we need to do for ourselves. I get it. Doesn't mean that you don't fight for what's rightfully yours, because we owe a lot of shit, because we built this country. And not only we built this country, all you like electronic devices, it's our shit. We created. You like cell phone? We created. You like the internet? You created. You like helicopters? You like planes? You like seatbelts? You like the first vehicle was some guys in Maryland. If you like all these
inventions, like air conditioners, you like refrigerators.
We invented all this.
You like cars? You like automatic? You like automatic cars?
We invented all this shit.
Do you like the light bulb? Better yet, do you like having a blood pressure machine? When you go to the doctor, do you like to be able to have a blood pressure machine?
Yes.
There's so many things that Black people are not given the due credit for. Like, we keep it alive as much as we possibly can.
That's why Black history is important, because the Black history is American history.
But again,
and the problem with them not wanting to teach in the schools, because they want to say, "Oh, Black people just lazy." No, we created every fucking thing you enjoy right now.
So, we created this shit. Real quick. See, the mindset that he has right now is he's running parallel with the mental illness that even white people be holding against. Like, he doesn't want to hear about the slavery. He doesn't want to hear about none of that. He's like, oh, that stuff is old. It's over. We can't talk about that. All right. So if we're going to talk about what's going on now, let's just speak about the law system alone, right? Let's just talk about the law system. There's laws that still exist to this day that were put into place 50, 60, 70 years ago to limit the things that Black people are able to do. And this was one of the things that Dave Chappelle talked about, was the man's law. And that's the same law that Puffy was being charged with. You know what I mean? So if you want to start talking, if you don't want to pay attention to the things that happened 100 years ago, let's talk about the stuff that happened in the last 40, 50 years. You know what I mean? We can even talk about the stuff that happened in the last 30 years. Bill Clinton passed the 2-strike rule, right? It was a 2 or 3 strikes.
Oh, 3-strike law.
The 3-strike rule.
Purple.
Now,
Joe Biden is the one that actually wrote the bill.
They passed the 3-strike rule, and then on top of passing the 3-strike rule, what did they do to the communities? They purposely went in and caused the problems. They flooded it with drugs. They flooded with guns, and they did all these different things to keep people in the, basically like herding you into the very problem, the very trap, I should say, that they created for you. He said it's a pro Diddy lie. I ain't listening.
Well, put it like this: I may disagree with the things that Diddy did, but if they're gonna charge him with the right shit, he should be free right now, because they charge him with some bullshit. Like, he did some shit that any rich person could do: have a sex party, invite people to come over, pay some women to have some sex. How much time are you supposed to get for some shit like that? 10 years? I'm having that's like porno. Why people that do porn don't get years in jail? Because they getting paid for the same shit. They fucking they get paid to have sex.
R. Kelly too. I'm nosing at him.
Yeah, I want you to free R. Kelly. We need some good music out here, because R&B is dead right now. Let's be realistic. R&B ain't popping like it used to.
I'm totally not.
R. Kelly ain't getting a chance to write people's shit right now.
Because of what I know he's in jail for, I can't listen to his music now and not hear him talking to little girls.
I could.
It seems like you're ready. Seems like you're ready. Girl, are you ready? Who's he talking to? He is not talking to a woman of age. It seems like you're ready. Really? Or my mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. So your mind is telling you no, because you shouldn't be doing it, but your body's telling you no. I can't listen to none of R. Kelly's music anymore without thinking he's talking to a little girl. I'm sorry.
Well, you gotta remember he wrote everybody's shit. So any artist that's singing a song, especially an older artist, they had to have one of his. He must have song credits for something he wrote.
Nah, he wrote a lot of records for a lot of people, which is fine. you know, it is what it is. But again, like, okay, a good song, another song, not his, Mrs. Jones. The song Mrs. Jones, me and Mrs. Jones.
Yeah.
That's an old song. He was talking about his coke dealer.
He said, "Free all the freaky niggas."
We don't know what the underlying inspiration is behind a lot of songs that are popular. So throw the whole music industry out. Listen to some.
You know, all the greatest songwriters are fucking freaks, right? Look at Neo. Neo got 4 or 5 women right now. He another freak, and he know bad people shit too.
If it works for him, do what you do, man.
Does it really work? We don't know what's happening behind.
It's working for him.
He got money, so he could.
Right now, it's working for him. Let's see how this goes in another 10 years.
Yeah.
We'll see. You know, but so many interesting things going on the road. Even what was one of the things you was talking about that 50 Cent said?
Oh yeah,
50's always saying something.
Oh, you talking about the all the black men out here is running around getting trans women?
No, not just that, but when let's just talk about in the relationship aspect of things, the dysfunction and the mental illnesses and that. Well, first off,
classification is you considered quote unquote gay? I mean, if you sleep with another man, I would like to think so. I hope so. I don't know how. I hate psychology when they talk about, if he doesn't identify with it, he's not it. No.
To me,
it's what you do is what you do.
If you desire to have relations with someone of the same sex as you, and that's your desire, like this is something that you really want to do. Yeah. You have some homosexuality tendencies, which is fine.
Just don't lie about it. Living your truth.
Like why? The only reason why it's such a bad thing is because people aren't real with it. You know what I mean? Like if a lot of men were honest and they wasn't doing the DL stuff and out here burning women and doing all these craziness, bro, if you want to be with a man, just be okay with it. Fine. Okay. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make you any less of a man. I would say if you know, one of the things that they were saying about LGBTQ is that, you know, they're trying to feminize men so they don't fight back. This is a consensus.
I know some homosexual men that beat the wheels
this is a conspiracy theory, allegedly, right? That you know that's the reason why they push it so hard. Honestly, I feel like gay men and people in the LGBTQ, they tough.
I was about to say, I know some dudes
really
that will
came down to it where we needed soldiers, I don't think that these people would say no. You know what I mean? Like if it came down to that, we needed an army of people to come together. I think that they're gonna have our back just as much as a straight person. Like I don't think it matters. You know what I mean?
They can be effeminate and walk around like this, but when it comes to that fighting, they fighting like a guy. I see the not transformer. I'm sorry, I apologize, people. I'm bad with words. I seen a tranny get in a fight, and if that's the right, if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. I'm just trying to identify a transgender, right?
Yeah.
So I see a transgender get in a fight with a dude, right? And it was dating, but the dude was buff too. Yo, the dude got I seen the transgender picked him up, slammed him on the ground, boop, start stomping his face in. I'm like, that woman could fight. And when I got closer, it was a dude. I said,
that's a trans.
They don't lose their fighting ability because they like walking around like this with makeup and stuff on. They still got man strength. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. So either way, I feel like it seems like every deceptive plan that has been put in place to hurt people always winds up backfiring on society in some way. You know what I mean? Like you suppress people for all these years and look, they still thriving in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like you pushing all these different chemicals in people's food to make them sick, and now you still got people surviving. You know, like there's always going to be
that's exactly what happened with Africa. Allegedly over there, they kept on poisoning the people, and then somehow the people's body become immune to the type of toxins, and it start to live with the toxins in their body, and it become normal to their body because their body's adaptive to almost anything over time. So maybe you might die from it, but if you're having a kid in the interim of it, now your kid maybe to live from it. That's why Ebola is one of the powerful viruses, right?
Ebola
There's tribes out there that Ebola doesn't even affect them. It doesn't do nothing to them. But
and
if we
malaria.
catch Ebola, it's game over for us. It's
Well,
because
yeah,
they over
true.
time
If you go
you
to
decimate
another
a lot of people,
country,
but now people
oh,
become immune to it.
if you go to
Huh?
another country and drink their water, you ain't gonna be able to handle it, and they can handle it. Like, oh man. When I was in Egypt, they was like, don't drink the water, and don't drink any of their dairy, don't eat or drink any of the dairy products. And I was like, okay, I don't want to find out, but I did by accident, and I fucked around and found out. So
Oh shit.
I forgot mashed potatoes has milk in it, man. But when I go back to Egypt, because I plan on going back, when I go back, I'm not having no mashed potatoes. I'm gonna just stick to potatoes. So
we just gotta make sure we ain't gonna be at war. How you get over there? As soon as you get over there, be like, okay, America. Anybody's American citizens, Trump be like, y'all gotta stay where y'all at because y'all can't come back to America now. We at war. I hope not, man. It's crazy. Well, I don't think he'll get war with the Saudis. I mean, the Emirates, because they give him money. So, yeah, they take care of Trumpy, Mr. Trump.
Real quick, just because it's still in my head with what the gentleman said about, he came from another country. Why are people playing victim and da.
People are not playing victim. You just don't understand the history, and that's the problem is they're not teaching history. So when you come here, you just see black people acting out, but you don't know what is the history that led up to it. Everybody just think of slavery. Slavery happened 200 something years ago. We're not talking about slavery. We're talking about the present moment where you got redlining in districts. Certain last names, certain names don't even. If you're a Spanish person, you have a better chance of getting a job than me, unless my name is not
the
a traditional black person name like Naquan, Saquon, or whatever.
Yeah, between the stereotypes and the perspectives, or the what's the word I'm looking for? I hate when I get a brain fart, but just these different ideas that have been put out about Black Americans. Like you said earlier, people don't want to be Black because they know how Black people are treated. It's like, on the low, like how they're treated. That's why you don't want to be them. But there's back to what I was talking about with the mental illness aspect. If you cannot look at another person that's in pain and suffering in some way, shape, or form and have compassion for them, then that just proves on your end that you have issues that you're not addressing within yourself, and you're not healing or working on towards healing, or even giving yourself the credit that's due of the pain that you've dealt with. That's why you can't give it to other people. You know what I mean? Like,
I tell people
that came from other countries, they went through hell to get here. A lot of them went through craziness to get here. So of course they're numb in a lot of ways. But don't come here and try to judge how people talk about and how they feel about their own country. It ain't none of your business. Technically. Like, it's none of your business.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still at this point. I'm still confused how people are still. It's like I could tell you what's going on, you see what's going on, and you still supporting this person
because Trump it's not happening to them.
This administration don't like Black people. We already know that. That's normal. Most administrations don't like us. We used to that, but we definitely know that they don't like you guys either. And any chance they get, they're gonna try to find a way to get rid. See, people thinking they just get rid of illegal immigrants. Then it's gonna move towards stripping people's citizenship. That's the next step. No, green cards, and then citizenships. That's all in the pipeline. That's all.
Listen, they was already talking about deporting Native Americans. Where?
They worried about
where?
Yeah, that's crazy. But they worried about limiting the population because they feel like this is gonna be a minority country, and they doing any and everything necessary. And it didn't start with Trump. Let me show you the correlation how it started under Joe Biden and it led under Trump. When we start talking about real IDs, was it under Trump or was it under Biden? It was under Biden. And the reason why we talked about real IDs is because they want to make sure that everybody's connected and they're able to know who's an immigrant and who's not just by your ID. Because if I scan your ID, your real ID, it lets me know if you're a citizen or a green card holder. I don't have to go through extra hurdles and steps. But right now, a lot of states is actually giving the government access to the systems. So now if they have your driver's license, they can scan and see that if you're a citizen or not. But ultimately, the reason why they wanted the real ID is so they can have easy identification of everybody.
You know who
So they
else
can
has
know
this
if you're
very
some-
similar type of setup? If you go to a farm that has sheep, they have the little tags on their ears and they scan the tag, and that's how they know. And then they herd the sheep into whatever areas that they want, and then they they shave them down, they shear them, they get their all that hard work that it took for them to grow it. It just sounds so eerily similar, but we could keep going on as usual. We got to stop here. I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode. Again, we are Awareness Academy 411. I'm your girl, Wendy Zizzo. Here's Kirk the Jerk. Happy Red. Shout out to you and your family. We love you, man. And yeah, peace and blessings.